Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Macomb Area Conference Basketball on Channel 6 CPHS. Tonight, we're at Port Huron High School as the Lady Big Reds take on their crosstown rivals, the Lady Huskies from Port Huron Northern. This is Randy Fernandez along with Gordon Jameson, and we'll be bringing you all the action of tonight's exciting intra-city contest. But first, let's turn it over to our public address announcer, Mr. Eric Rucker, the voice of the Lady Big Reds, for the introduction of tonight's starting lineups and the playing of our national anthem.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Port Huron High School for this inter-city matchup between the Northern Huskies and the Port Huron High Big Reds. The athletic skills displayed today by the participants will serve them for only a few years. The sportsmanship displayed today will provide a lesson for a lifetime for all in attendance. Remember, everyone, good sports are winners. At this time, we ask that you please stand and gentlemen remove your caps and respectfully pay honor to America as we listen to our national anthem.
If you don't want to join our department, slow one, you know that's the next one, so you can give me Ken Meinhardt.
Tonight's participants. Your officials for tonight's game are Mr. Steve Bernstein and Mr. Mike Shogan. These officials are registered by the Michigan High School Athletic Association and, like the coaches, are here to help the athletes learn on the playing field. These individuals have worked hard to learn the rules and apply them fairly. We request you respect their honest efforts in administering this contest. Your scorekeepers tonight from Northern is Ms. Shayna Carson. The official scorekeeper is Ms. Judy Biddle. The timekeeper, Mr. Al Frost. Now let's greet tonight's starting lineups. First for the Northern Huskies, under the coaching leadership of Mr. Ed Peltz. At forward, wearing number 50, Larry Westbrook. Lori Westbrook. Wearing number 42, Andrea Kraus. At center, wearing number 40, Kim Smith. At guard, wearing number 20, Brenda O'Malley. And at guard, wearing number 30, Nicole Kane. As mentioned, the Huskies are coached by Mr. Ed Peltz. And now let's greet the starting lineups for the Port Huron High Big Reds under the coaching leadership of Mr. George Popa. At forward, wearing number 40, Charlie Lloyd. At forward, wearing number 44, Audrey Howe. At center, wearing number 50, Diana Cole. At guard, wearing number 12, Tasha Williams.
Gordy, both teams tonight, what they consider rebuilding programs here at Port Huron High and Port Huron Northern, but again, you can, it's all for the marbles here tonight, as they say, and you can kind of throw the records out, whether it's having a great year or a rebuilding year, as I said earlier, for both teams.
Well, and both teams are coming off big wins on Thursday night, which is a real good sign. Port Huron High happened to play East Detroit on Thursday night and won 50-43, and they've struggled this year, but maybe are putting it together at this stage. And Northern came off a big win over Roseville, 39-36 on Thursday. So both teams seem to be showing signs of progressing, and couldn't happen at a better time.
Well, it definitely couldn't. Again, both teams coming off very big wins the other night, and again, this one for bragging rights, at least till they play each other again sometime in December. Our referees for tonight are Mr. Steve Bernstein and Mr. Mike Shogan. Our statistician, Mr. Scott Jameson. We'll reset the starting lineups as soon as we get a chance. Tip underway, controlled by the Lady Huskies and Nicole Dane. Northern sends out Brenda O'Malley, Nicole Dane, Kim Smith, Andrea Krause, and Lori Westbrook. For Coach George Popa, Liana Cole, Tasha Williams, Erica Sofa, and Charlie Lloyd.
Well, Port Huron High starting out in a zone tonight, and they're obviously real concerned about Nicole Dane and are pressuring outside.
Well, Nicole Dane, who likes to shoot the three-pointer, didn't hit the first one. Sofa came down for the rebound. We've got the first turnover of the night, and it goes to the Lady Huskies.
Well, a game like this, Randy, I'm sure we're going to see a lot of turnovers early. Both teams are real tight, and they have some young personnel, but I think they'll settle down real soon.
Well, you mentioned young personnel. Again, Port Huron Northern and Port Huron High, basically, other than Nicole Dane, you've got 9 underclassmen on the floor right now. I think you'll also see a lot of substitutions. Both teams like to go to their benches early. And Dane 0 for 2 from outside the three-point line and out of bounds underneath the north basket to Charlie Lloyd and the Lady Big Reds. And the full court pressure forces a turnover, a little scramble underneath. They get it inside to O'Malley, and she gives the Huskies the first lead of the evening, 2-0. Right off the bat, the press affected Port Huron High.
Well, they're not putting a lot of pressure on the ball when it's first thrown in, but once the first pass is thrown, then the pressure comes, and there we see another steal by Nicole Dane.
Dane could not turn it over, however, she follows her own shot. It's going to get called for traveling. A nice lesson to be learned there by our listening audience. Nicole Dane missed the shot, but followed up her own, tried to get her own rebound. I think if I was Coach George Pope, I'd post up Liana Cole right at the half-court line and just toss it into her. Williams tries to go baseline. She's cut off out of bounds to Northern. So again, the last 3 possessions have been turnovers to the Huskies.
Tasha did a nice job of bringing the ball up against the press, but as often happens when you bring it up, you're a little hurried and sometimes have to pull it back out and get the offense set.
Nice pass inside to Smith. Now, I'll be interested to see if they do try to go inside to Smith or Krause. Again, both shots from outside have been by Nicole Dane in three-point land. We got a nice steal there by Tasha Williams. First shot of the ball game for the Big Reds doesn't go in. Rebound Erica Sofa. She puts it back up a little bit too strong. Fight for the rebound. Liana Cole's right there. Can't get her to go. She puts it up again. This time stripped away by the Big Reds. Maintain possessions.
We're seeing some great hustle out there, Randy. Both teams going real hard on the floor for every loose ball.
Well, Liana Cole there, nice 2 offensive rebounds underneath the glass, but just couldn't get it to fall for Coach George Popa's Lady Big Reds. 2-0 our score, 5:31 to go in the first quarter here from Port Huron High School. Nice steal by Andrea Krause there. Coach George Popa asking Charlie Lloyd to try to get inside to Leanna. I think we're going to have our first substitution of the night as number 14, Dina Gross, will check in at the next whistle for the Lady Big Reds. Krause's shot, turnaround jumper won't go. Rebound Cole. We've got, I think, our first foul of the evening.
Big Red substitution number 14, Dina Gross.
Pardon me, just out of bounds. Again, our first substitution, Dina Gross, checks in for number 12, Tasha Williams. O'Malley steals the inbound pass. Again, both teams a little tight here, especially Port Huron High early on.
Oh, definitely. It's interesting to see the contrast in styles. Port Huron High, every opportunity is trying to push it up the floor. Northern, on the other hand, is being very, very, very patient around the perimeter.
Nice steal by Sofa. She goes coast to coast. Dane back. Would have counted if it would have fell. It did not. However, Erica Sofa will go to the line to shoot two as she's hammered on the arm by the co-captain of the Lady Huskies, Nicole Dane, number 30.
That's a nice spin move by Erica, you know, pulling up in traffic and drawing the foul.
Well, Erica Sofa, definitely the floor leader here for Coach George Pope, the little general as he likes to call her. And she'll try to tie this game up with 4:35 to go in the first quarter.
She shows a lot of poise for a sophomore, especially in a big game like this.
I think if Erica wasn't on the basketball team, I know the cross-country coach would probably like to have her. I mean, she's very, very quick up and down the court. Erica splits the pair, 2-1 Huskies. Both teams this year have struggled a little bit offensively. If they can, again, Northern relying on O'Malley and Dana, they can sure light them up if they can get in the groove. And again, Port Huron High, really it's kind of spread amongst 4 or 5 ladies as far as the scoring leadership this year. Dane, her third three-pointer of the night. This one rattles around, can't get it to go. Kraus, although doing a nice job on the boards, gets it to O'Malley. She drives the lane, shots up, no good. Rebound, Deanna Gross. Shots up won't go by number 44, Audrey Howe. And Audrey will go to the line to shoot two. Nice. Northern's second team foul.
Nice strong move by Audrey inside. Port Huron High does have some size inside, and they seem to be going into to the big girls whenever they get an opportunity.
Number 33, Bernadette Walker, checks in for Charlie Lloyd.
Audrey Howe will shoot two.
That foul by the Ladies Huskies was on number 40, Kim Smith, her first, team second. You know, I know they practice on these quite a bit, and you think it doesn't mean much, only the first quarter, but free throws can play a very important outcome of this game when you go back and count them up at the end of 32 minutes.
Well, especially in a game like this, when we know it's going to be very intense and the players are going to be going hard for the ball, there's going to be a lot of fouls, and it's real difficult if you're not hitting a halfway decent percentage from the line.
Well, Audrey again splits the pair, and we're knotted at 2. Nice defensive play there by Gross. However, Northern maintains possession.
Well, Northern is working the ball well around the perimeter and getting the ball inside, but the girls inside have to start to score a little. Otherwise, PH can continue to put that pressure on around the perimeter.
Fine defensive play there by Cole. Here comes Sofa up to Gross. She's going to put it up. A little bit long, fight for the rebound. Bernadette Walker tries to save it. However, I believe it's off her hands. It is underneath the south basket, and Northern retains possession. Northern substitution, their first of the evening. Number 44, Melissa Russell, checks in for Kim Smith.
Well, we've gone almost 5 minutes, Randy, and we have 1 field goal scored so far. So I guess that attests to the fact that they are a little bit tight.
Well, Nicole Dane with the ball now has tried 3 three-pointers. They've been right on the mark, but they're very strong rims here, and you just gotta swish them, as they say. O'Malley, her banks it in, or you can make it that way if you don't see money bank it. I don't know if she called bank on that shot. We're too far away to hear that, but it doesn't matter. She puts Northern up 4-2 with exactly 3 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Nice job of Audrey Howe of pulling that back out when she didn't have the drive.
Gross's shot won't go. She's fouled by O'Malley. Team third, O'Malley's first, and Gross will go to the line to shoot a pair.
O'Malley, her first, team's third.
As you said, Randy, free throws are probably going to play a very important role in this game, and Port Huron Northern already has 3 team fouls early in the first, or about midway through the first quarter.
And all 3 team fouls have been shooting, and the active shooting by the Port Huron High Big Red players. Well, if hold the form here, Dina should be able to split the pair as Port Huron High's done the first 2 opportunities. And she does.
You called it.
Port Huron High 3 for 6 tonight. All 3 points coming from the charity stripe. Greg, does that look like Port Huron High's kind of like in a 1-3-1? Nice steal there by Sofa. She should try to go all the way, pick up the foul as she doesn't get the basket. Now, I don't know if they're going to count that from our view, but in the NBA, that would count as a continuation basket. I think in Michigan high school athletics, that's probably going to count as a foul out front, which is a good foul for Nicole Dane, if there's such a thing as a good foul. And I've always preached that in our city rec games. She got the foul before the basket went up, so Port Huron High just inbounds it, kind of saved 2 points.
Well, if I remember, Randy, I think your style of play was always foul first and ask questions later.
That's right. As long as they're clean. Nicole Dane, the co-captain, does a nice job there batting the ball out of bounds. Port Huron High retains possession. Howe gets a nice pass dish underneath, and I don't know how she got it through a maze of Lady Husky players, but that's the first basket of the night for Port Huron High, and they maintain the lead by 1.
She might have got whacked a little bit on that one, too. That was a nice, strong move by Andrea Howe.
Northern very patient to look inside, and if they don't find that, they've got Dane and O'Malley shooting it from way out. Russell, nice, doesn't see the player Westbrook underneath, and she's going to get called on a travel violation. Again, Northern did a nice job bounce passing into Russell, and she had Westbrook, but couldn't see through the maze of Big Red players surrounding her.
Port Huron High is doing a nice job of collapsing when it does go into the middle, and it's real tough in there when you have 2-3 people drop around you.
New substitution for the Lady Big Reds is number 22, Tanya Klettner.
Port Huron High doing a nice job of breaking the press.
And Sofa finishes off the biggest lead of the night for either team, Port Huron High by 3. So Port Huron High trying to come away with 2 victories here tonight as their JV team in a thrilling last-second victory, won by the score of 24-22. Again, the Lady Big Reds JV team victorious here tonight in the earlier game.
Well, we're seeing a little momentum swing here, Randy. Port Huron High is, staying with their game plan. They're playing that zone real tight outside, not letting outside shooters of Northern get any free shots, and then keep pushing it up the floor. And the only thing that was bothering them early was the press against Port Huron Northern. They seem to have that problem solved.
And Port Huron High doing a nice job defensively, trying to deny the ball inside. There's a nice two good passes there, but O'Malley just can't finish it off. Rebound Howe. Here comes Sofa. Bernadette Walker, her first shot of the night, a little bit strong. Rebound Howe puts it back up, can't get it to go. Tipped out to Gross, and she's hammered by Nicole Dane. Nicole's second, and Gross will go to the line and shoot 2. Nice offensive job on the glass by the Lady Big Reds.
I tell you, if you can pick up 2-3 extra shots when you come down the floor, it makes a lot of difference in a game like this.
The fab freshman, as they say, for Coach Ed Peltz, number 34, Tara Vincent, checks into the lineup. Again, Tara, only a freshman, just a whiz at the intermediate level, trying to find her way amongst the senior classmen here playing as a freshman on the varsity. And I'll tell you, anytime you're a freshman and come play on the varsity, that says a lot about your talent or potential talent. That's
a huge jump in playing levels from intermediate ball right up to varsity level, and a Port Huron High Northern game on top of it.
Port Huron High by 4, 8-4, 32 seconds to go in the first quarter here from Port Huron High School. And we've got a foul on the arm that's either going to be against Cole or Gross. Let's see what referee Bernstein has to say. We'll try to sort things out. It's against number 14, Dina Gross, her first.
Team's first.
And Port Huron High only picking up their first team foul here with under 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. So a clean game so far by Coach George Popa's team. Not noted for that, though. No, he'll tease me about that later. O'Malley wide open, free throw line extended, can't get it to go. Fight for the rebound. Tara Vincent tries to save it, but it goes right to Gross. 2-on-2. 5 seconds, somebody's going to have to put it up. Three-pointer for Sofa. It's on its way, a little bit short. Gross has got the chance to put it back up. She throws it up. It would have counted had it have gone, and after 8 minutes of play, it's the Big Reds 8 and the Port Huron Northern Huskies 4. Well, Gordy, this will give us a chance to recap the top 10 list so far in the Times-Herald girls basketball poll this week.
Well, unfortunately, Randy, I don't see Port Huron High or Northern in that top 10, but maybe after this week they'll be able to move into the Elite 10. But this week in the poll we have Marlette listed at number 1. They have a 12-1 record, followed by Marysville at 11-3. St. Clair is 10-3. Cardinal Mooney is 13-0, the only undefeated team in the top 10. Armada at 10-2 record. Sandusky is holding the 6th spot at 9-4. Brown City is 7th at 8-2. Yale is 8th, and 9th is Peck. And winding up the top 10 is Ubley with a 9-3 record.
Well, again, as you stated earlier, it's been a long time since you've not seen Port Huron High or Port Huron Northern at least in the top 5, if not the top 10. Again, alluded to earlier, you can't stay on top forever, rebuilding here, and both these teams, again, loaded with underclassmen. So again, I think for the next 2 years, these teams are going to be set.
Well, and they're playing well, even though their records may not indicate it. You can see the improvement, and you can see that the players are playing within the confines of the offense and defense that have been designed by the coaches. So these are going to be fine ball clubs in a year or so.
Sofa, her second three-pointer of the night, all net for Erica Sofa. The spark plug, 11-4. Port Huron High starting to pull away. Coach George Popa sends out Klettner, Sofa, Lloyd, Cole, and Williams for Coach Ed Peltz, Westbrook, O'Malley, Dane, Kraus, and number 24, Jessica Hewitt. Three-pointer for Dane. She tries to answer, can't get it to go. Rebound Lloyd, but I think she's on the line. However, I think she was pushed. That's what referee Bernstein says. Or pardon me, she was not pushed. She was on the line, and Nicole Dane to inbound.
Well, Northern's going to have to get some scoring out of their front line. The pressure is all outside, and if indeed they can't start scoring inside and along that baseline, it could be a long night.
Jessica Hewitt, number 24, out there for Coach Eddie Peltz. The first game we did, she was just a fine defensive specialist. Her job basically is to play defense and to get the ball into the scorers. But I tell you, she can light it up too, and if they can give her space, she's got the ball now, she should try to put it up. And both teams really don't have a go-to person, and if anybody can get hot, they should feed them all night.
Well, you can see again, Northern did get the ball inside, but immediately Port Huron High collapsed. That time they did foul, though. It's only the second foul for Port Huron High in the half.
Leanna Cole picks up her first, team second, with 6:46 to go in the first half.
See, the weak spot on this zone is along the baseline. Port Huron High is playing a 1-2-2 zone. That's one person out front and two people along about even with the free throw line and two underneath. So there really is a vulnerable spot under. But when the ball goes inside, the girls have to make a quick move to the basket. They're waiting just a little too long and giving Port Huron High enough time to collapse and make it difficult.
Dane puts up shout again. Nicole Dane can't find the mark so far early on. Rebound Cole. Here comes Sofa. 3-on-3. Williams will try to finish off the play a little bit too strong. Rebound off the hands of Kraus into the hands of Westbrook. Well, again, contrasting styles. Port Huron High likes to run and gun a little bit. Northern more like in the Detroit Piston half-court offense, so to speak. Nice disc pass underneath. Basket won't go by Westbrook. Lloyd on the rebound. And nice defensive play there by Brendan O'Malley to tie up the Big Red player. Possession arrow favors the Huskies. Couple substitutions. Audrey Howe, who started the ball game, going to check back in, along with fellow starter for the Northern, Kim Smith, sees her first action here in the second quarter.
That last possession was a good possession for Northern, though. They got the ball inside to Westbrook, and she quick spun to the basket, got the shot off without laying the ball down on the floor.
O'Malley off balance, runner won't go. Lloyd on the rebound, her third. You know, I'll tell you, based on records tonight, Port Huron High have to be the underdog, and I'll tell you, up by 7, giving them a big confidence booster here in the first half. And the Port Huron High fans on their feet do not agree with the referee's call, as Northern will get possession. We're kind of blocked out on our perch here high above the basket here.
Sometimes it's better off to be that way than make the comment.
Even our statistician, Scott Jameson, doesn't agree with that call here tonight, so. O'Malley kind of off balance. Lloyd just kind of got in her way, and number 40, Charlie Lloyd's going to draw the foul.
Well, you can see Port Huron Northern starting to take it inside, both on the drive and on the pass, and the outside shot just isn't there right now. They're having trouble getting it to drop. So go inside, try to establish an offensive game, and then you can kick back out and get perhaps a wide open look.
Well, Brendan O'Malley at the line again. Early on here, it was 4-2 Port Huron Northern. Now it's 11-4. Port Huron unofficially here. I've got Port Huron Northern in about a 6-minute scoring drought.
It's been rough. They have a lid on it tonight.
And that'll always break the jinx as O'Malley hits the free throw to make it 11-5, Port Huron High. O'Malley 2 for 2. Northern again in full court man-to-man pressure. And we've got a travel violation on Sofa.
Northern picked up the pressure a little further up the floor this time and caught Port Huron High napping just a little.
Well, again, a pretty good turnout tonight for this intra-city rivalry. Again, we encourage our listening audience. It's only $3, the best $3 in town. Come on out and support one of your local high school teams.
Following the possession rule, the Big Reds will inbound.
Number 50, Lori Westbrook, and number 14, Dina Gross, check into both respective lineups.
Substitution number 50, Lori Westbrook.
Port Huron High does, I was just going to say, does a little bit better job breaking the press when that almost got thrown away. Almost a steal there by Dane, but Sofa maintains possession. Tasha Williams from 5 feet, too strong, rebound Gross. She puts it back up off the side board, can't get it to go. Howe puts it up 1-2 times, can't get it to go. Port Huron High still maintains possession. Bernadette Walker, again, 4 shots there. And then we're going to get a violation on the Lady Big Reds, but 5 offensive rebounds that time by the Lady Big Reds coach. Ed Pelt's not very happy with his Lady Huskies right now.
Well, Port Huron High is sending 5 people to the board. They're vulnerable if Northern can ever get a rebound to the break, but for right now it's working well, and they're just going to keep crashing.
And again, if you're Coach George Pope, you've got to be happy with that, but you got to cap the play off and make the basket. O'Malley from the sideline hits it. O'Malley starting to bring Port Huron Northern back, 11-8. O'Malley with Port Huron Northern's last 4 points.
Well, O'Malley has all 8 so far for Northern.
Sofa trying to set up the offense into Howe. She puts it up, nice strong move, a little bit too hard, rebound Westbrook. And I guess, again, a nice rebound by the 5'8 sophomore, number 50, Lori Westbrook. Foul on 44 Audrey Howe.
Foul number 44, Audrey Howe.
I've been impressed with the way the underclassmen have been playing. Again, a lot of times they're missing shots, but as far as the way they're handling themselves on the floor and the aggressiveness, often when you get an underclassman in a game like this, they're a little bit timid, but that has not been the case tonight.
And Audrey picks up 2 quick fouls here within a matter of about 6 seconds of each other. That's one of George Popa's better players. You can't afford to lose Audrey here early on in the first half.
Big red foul number 44.
Again, 3:33 to go in the first half. 11-8 Port Huron High. Well, again, with O'Malley having all 8 of Northern's points, again, that's good for O'Malley, but she's going to need a little help, I think, here tonight. And she can get it from this girl right here, Nicole Dane. Again, a little bit short. Out of bounds to the Lady Big Reds. But, you know, Nicole Dane, I'm sure is a little frustrated here, but again, she's probably the best player Northern has, and she's the go-to player, and you've got to keep letting her shoot it and let her get out of the slump, so to speak.
Well, that's it. Every shooter has bad starts, but the good ones just keep putting it up, and eventually they find a way.
That's what you used to tell me, Coach, when we played.
I just kept waiting for you to find a way, though. That was the problem. The putting it up part you never had problems with, Randy.
Big red foul number 33, Bernadette Walker.
Bernadette Walker picks up the foul, and again, Port Huron High, that only drew their first team foul with 33 seconds to go in the first quarter, have now picked up 6 straight fouls, and with 2:51 to go, they put O'Malley at the line in the 1-on-1 situation.
Well, Port Huron High, I'm sure, is getting very frustrated. They're doing a great job at the defensive end. They're getting the ball up the floor and getting 2 or 3 shots, but they just can't get it to drop. And that's where generally you pick up the cheap fouls, is on a missed shot where you think you should have made it and tend to go over the back or take a lunge as the person starts dribbling up the floor.
O'Malley 10, Port Huron Northern 10.
Well, it's easy to keep track of it right now.
Again, an easy night for Scott Jameson on the stat sheet. Good defense there by Northern, Hewitt and Krause.
Well, the difference you're seeing now is that Port Huron High isn't attacking the zone. They're doing a pretty good job of bringing it up cautiously, but unless you take it to the hole and try to score after you beat the zone, Northern's going to continue to put it on them, and as a result, the potential for turnovers is there.
Williams tries to bring it inside, dishes it out to Sofa. Liana Cole, the center, a little bit short. Rebound, Howe puts it back up, and Andre Howe, again, another offensive rebound for Audrey. Port Huron High by 3.
Audrey gets good position inside. I was watching her box out on that missed shot, and she does a real nice job.
Again, Audrey only a sophomore, so the 2 big red, the tall people, Cole and Howe, only sophomores. Again, good things to come in the future here for Coach George Popa. The freshman, Tara Vincent, who saw action early in the ball game, will check in with 1:59 to go in the half. She checks in for Jessica Hewitt.
Northern substitution number 34, Tara Vincent. Laurie Westbrook shoots 1-1.
Northern doing a very nice job on their free throws tonight as Westbrook gets her first point. Number 11, the senior Carrie Amon checks in for Coach George Popa. Westbrook hits the pair, 13-12, Northern within 1. Again, full court man-to-man pressure applied by the Lady Huskies. And Sofa on the line, and that's about the 6th forced turnover there. The press working here tonight so far for Coach Ed Peltz. As number 10, Shelly Frohart sees her first action. Again, another sophomore. Well, I tell you, if I'm the JV coach for either one of these teams, I got to be a little depressed because there's about 4 sophomores on each team. So not much you can do. All your talent's up on the varsity. I'll tell you, that says a good thing about coaching. If you've got a sophomore or freshman, you're going to bring him up, you might as well play him.
That's right. It doesn't do you any good to set them on the Pines. You might as well have them out there playing or keep them down on JV, one or the other. Well, there are an awful lot of girls getting in on both squads tonight. Both coaches go to their benches freely.
Nice dish pass underneath, but Kraus can't get it to go. O'Malley puts it back up. O'Malley, 12 of the 14 Husky points. And Northern, who was ahead early but has trailed for the last 10 minutes, comes back and takes the lead by 1 with under a minute to go in the half. Again, the Lady Husky full court pressure forces another turnover, 10-second violation. Coach George Popa telling his team to regroup, spread the floor. Let's see if Ed Peltz will hold his team for the final shot of the half.
Well, Northern is pulling it out a little further now, and obviously content to go away with that last shot.
Tara Vincent, her first shot a little bit too strong. Rebound, Frohart. I think I'd hold it for the last one and give it to O'Malley. Vincent tries to put it up short, can't get it to go. Vincent again underneath, puts it up again. Third time's the charm for Tara, her first 2 points, the freshman. 9 seconds to go in the half.
That was a nice cross-court pass by Andrea Kraus as well to set that play up.
Colo put it up a little bit short, gets her own rebound though, too hard at the buzzer. And Northern, who traded by 4 at the end of the quarter, comes back and takes a 3-point lead. Again, our score at halftime, the Lady Huskies 16, the Lady Big Reds 13. Stay tuned for second half action after these commercial messages.
You really got me now. You got me so I don't know what I'm doing.
Boy, I really did it last night. Got drunk, acted stupid, went home with... Who is that? What, am I stupid? How did I do this? Barry began to worry, really worry. What about AIDS? Then he remembered, hey, I'm just a cartoon. I don't even have to shower. Get high, get stupid, get AIDS.
Excuse me. Do you wear your safety belt?
Why, no. I don't wear my safety belt.
Thank you.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
He protects all living things in the forest. But he can't do it alone. Please don't play with matches. Put out your campfires. And never, ever forget the words of Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent forest fires.